Hi, I'm Eric Guerra, Senior Vice President of Sales and Marketing for the Terravant Wine Company. I've been with the winery for about 5 years now and established the private label wine division. And at that time, we definitely knew that we wanted to be the most innovative and the most creative in all of private label wine, really turning the industry on its ear and saying that private labels are not only outstanding, but it's the wave of the future. And I believe it's one of the reasons that we've had such a great partnership with Kroger and starting off with such an outstanding and creative brand with Paranoia. Kroger embraces private label wines like we do. You're one of the most significant leaders in private label innovation for wine in particular in the country. And our business model fit Kroger's perfectly for this purpose. We think we have something here because we had a beautiful brand with some fantastic wine in it, and obviously something that the consumers are going to look at and say, okay, this is completely different that I can't get anywhere else.
Here at Paranoia Wines, we wanted to give people a new, entertaining, and enjoyable wine experience. We've worked closely with local California grape growers to source premium fruit for our Pinot Grigio, Chardonnay, and Cabernet Sauvignon program. For our Pinot Grigio, our grapes are night harvested at vineyard sources in the Central Valley. The fruit then arrives at the winery nice and cold. We put it into our presses, press the juice off. It's then settled for about 24 hours, and then it's wrapped off into its fermentation tank. It's then inoculated with a yeast strain, which is specially selected to enhance the natural fruit flavors and minerality of the grape. For our Pinot Grigio, you'll especially enjoy it when paired with oysters, fettuccine alfredo, grilled chicken, or tuna tartare like you see here. For our Chardonnay grapes, we like to press those ones whole cluster so that the grape clusters themselves are intact. Once the juice comes out of the press, it goes into a tank, it's settled for 24 hours, and then similar to the Pinot Grigio, we'll rack it off of those juice lees, and it goes into the fermentation vessel. We like to incorporate a little bit of oak into those fermentation vessels in order to get a slight oak influence into the wine, but without an overpowering oak characteristic. We'll ferment the Chardonnay a little bit warmer so that adds a richer texture. And then additionally, we put a portion of our Chardonnay through malolactic fermentation so that it creates a nice creamy texture as well as some different flavors and characteristics in the wine. Our Chardonnay is fruit forward with a rich texture and a bright acidity. So you'll love drinking this one with crab cakes, a fondue, Caribbean style meat, or even my personal favorite, a cheese plate. For our Cabernet Sauvignon, first thing we do with red wines as opposed to white wines is we destem the fruit. Red wine is fermented with all the seeds included, so we take those berries which we separated and we put them into a stainless steel tank to ferment. And we like to use a little bit of yeast strains that amplify spice. Our fermentation takes about 8 to 10 days with all the seeds and skins together. It ferments much warmer than white wine, and that adds kind of a lot of body to the wine, that process. At the end of the fermentation process, once all of the sugar has been fully converted into alcohol, that's when we press the red fruit. So it gets out of the fermentation vessel, goes into a press, and it's separated and becomes wine. We'll then age that for about 8 months at the very minimum on various methods of incorporating oak, so French oak and a little bit of American oak to really diversify the flavors and amplify the fruit characteristics as well as the texture of the wine. To match the style of our Cabernet Sauvignon, you'll find a perfect pairing when it's served with dishes like hearty vegetable stew, prime rib, or these savory bacon-wrapped date appetizers. In our inaugural year at the 2015 San Francisco International Wine Competition, our 2013 Paranoia Chardonnay earned 92 points, and our 2012 Paranoia Cabernet earned 95 points, as well as a double gold. The entire lineup received a double gold in the category of unique and creative label design, and we also won a gold with our Cabernet at this year's California State Fair. We're excited to continue our new wine success with your help. Be sure to find us on Facebook at facebook.com/paranoiawines and tell us all about your experiences. Cheers.